Namaste children. Hi. Let us discuss 5th lesson in 10th class social studies is Indian rivers and water resources. Today in this video we would like to discuss water use. Water is a flowing resource. It is available to us throughout the year. To estimate how much amount of water is available in our region for us to use during the year, then we should recall water cycle. Water cycle is nothing but inflow and outflow. Inflow and outflow. What is inflow? When the atmosphere cools, the water from the atmosphere goes to Earth's surface. Earth's surface means land and ocean. Earth's surface means land and ocean. When the atmosphere cools, the water from the atmosphere goes to Earth's surface. Again, the water from Earth's surface goes to atmosphere. That is called outflow process. That is called outflow process. And once again, the water from the atmosphere goes to Earth's surface, this inflow process. And again, the water from the Earth's surface goes to atmosphere. This process is called outflow process. This inflow process, outflow process repeated in the form of cycle is called water cycle or hydrologic cycle. Children, to estimate how much amount of water is available in our region during the year, then we should estimate the inflow of an area and outflow of an area. Then we should estimate the inflow of an area and outflow of an area. To estimate the inflow of an area, then we should estimate the precipitation and surface flow and groundwater flow. Okay. To estimate the precipitation, we should take average of rainfall over many years. We should take average of rainfall over many years. Why? Because in one year, rainfall occurs more. Another year, rainfall occurs less. So that to estimate the precipitation, we should take an average of precipitation or average of rainfall for 10 years or for 5 years or for 15 years. We should estimate the surface flow. How to estimate the surface flow? Multiply the area of surface flow like rivers, stream, canals. Multiply the area of surface flow by rainfall intensity and divide it by 3660 to convert surface flow rate in liters per second. Okay, how should we estimate the surface flow? Multiply the area of surface flow by rainfall intensity and should be divided by 3660 to convert surface flow rate in liters per second. For example, rivers, stream, canals comes under surface flow. To estimate the amount of water in river or to estimate the amount of water in stream, to estimate the amount of water in canal, then multiply the area of a river or area of a stream or area of a canal by rainfall intensity, and that should be divided by 3660 so that we can convert surface flow rate in liters per second. We cannot estimate groundwater flow. It is very difficult. It is very difficult to estimate the groundwater flow. Based on slope, we can estimate the groundwater flow. Based on slope, we can estimate the groundwater flow. Okay, to estimate the inflow of an area, we should estimate the precipitation and surface flow and groundwater flow. Why should we estimate the precipitation and surface flow, groundwater flow? To estimate the inflow of an area. Why? Why? Because the area means you think it is a village or a city or a town or a district. The area gets water from precipitation in the form of snow, dew, hail, rainfall. The area gets water from precipitation in the form of snow, dew, hail and rainfall. And the same area gets water from surface flow like rivers, streams and canals. And the same area gets water from groundwater. The area gets water from precipitation in the form of snow, dew, hail, rainfall. The area gets water from surface flows like river, streams, canals. And the area gets water from groundwater. Hence the area gets water from precipitation, surface flow resource and groundwater resource, so that we should estimate the precipitation and surface flow, groundwater flow to estimate the inflow of an area. To know how much amount of water is available in a region during the year, we should estimate the inflow of an area that we discussed so far now. And we should estimate the outflow of an area. To estimate the outflow of an area, we should estimate the evaporation and transpiration. Evaporation and transpiration. What is meant by evaporation? What is meant by evaporation? When the temperature is high, the water in the water bodies changes into vapor and goes to atmosphere and forms into clouds. This is called evaporation process. When the temperature is high, the water in the water bodies changes into vapor and goes to atmosphere and formed as a clouds. This process is called evaporation. This process is called evaporation. Then what is meant by transpiration? During breathing process, living things release water vapor in the atmosphere. Okay, keep your hand near to your nose. Okay, we can feel the water vapor is coming out from our body. Okay, during breathing process, living things release water vapor in the atmosphere. That process is called transpiration. What is meant by evapotranspiration? What is meant by evapotranspiration? The total amount of water vapor added in the atmosphere through evaporation process and transpiration process is called evapotranspiration. What is meant by evapotranspiration? The total amount of water vapor added in the atmosphere through the process of evaporation and transpiration is called evapotranspiration. To estimate the outflow of an area, we should estimate the evaporation and transpiration process. When we estimate the evaporation and transpiration, we get the outflow of an area. So when we estimate the inflow of an area and outflow of an area, then we can estimate how much amount of water is available in our region for us to use during the year. Okay, children. Now we'll discuss. Okay, here in an area, you assume. Okay, village. You assume area is nothing but a village or a city or a town. Okay, the area gets water from surface flow and groundwater. The area gets water from surface flow and groundwater. Let me discuss now. Now surface flow, see now. Okay, surface flow. What is meant by surface flow? What is meant by the surface flow? The water flows in a land is called surface flow. The water flows in a land is called surface flow. Example, river, streams, canals, ponds, lakes. These things are comes under surface flow. Why? Because the water flows on land. River water flows in land. Canal water flows in land. Stream water flows in land. Ponds water flows in land. Canal water flows in land. Lakes water flows in land. So these all comes under surface flow. How surface flow gets water? How surface flow gets water? From rainfall. From rainfall, surface flow gets water. When the rainfall occurs during monsoon season, when rainfall occurs, the water in the surface flow increases and the water flows. At last reaches ocean. At last reaches ocean. Some portion of the surface flow penetrates inside the ground, inside the underground, and recharge the aquifer. Recharge means store. Aquifer means water. Means the water stores inside the ground. Some portion of surface flow water, that means like river, stream, canal, pond, lake water penetrate inside the earth, inside the ground and recharge the aquifer, stores the water inside the ground. Now some portion of rainfall percolates directly inside the earth. Some portion of rainfall percolates directly inside the ground and recharges the aquifer. That means the water is stored under the ground. Okay, this underground water also flows. The water in the underground flows slowly and appears in wells, tube wells, rivers, streams, canals, etc. The water in the underground also flows slowly, appears on wells, tube wells, okay, or appears in surface flow like river, canal, streams, etc. Some portion of rainfall water penetrates in deep aquifer. Deep aquifer means neeti water. Deep aquifer means neeti water. Some portion of rainfall water penetrates in deep aquifer that won't be available to us. Here, surface flow water, okay, flows in a village. Groundwater is available in a village. In deep aquifer, neeti water, it is also available in a village. Now discuss children how water is used for. How water is used for. Here today, the people are using water extensively for agriculture. Okay, why? Because without water, crops cannot be cultivated. Water is must and should for cultivating the crop. Water is important for agriculture. Without water, agriculture cannot be cultivated. Agriculture cannot be prosperous. When crops grow very well, means when the water reaches the root zone of the crop, then the crops grow very well. Okay, when the water reaches a root zone of the crop, soil increases capability to hold the moisture. When the water reaches the root zone of the crop, soil increases capability to hold the moisture. As a result, crop will grow well. How the root zone of the crop gets water? From rainfall and irrigation water. Either from rainfall or from irrigation water like river water, canal water, stream water, tube water, well water. Okay. Children, you assume now it is a flood situation. In the case of flood situation, the water doesn't penetrate inside the ground. Children, you imagine now it is a flood situation. In the case of flood situation, the water doesn't penetrate inside the ground. As a result, the crop would get damaged. Children, now imagine a drought situation. In the case of drought situation, the soil doesn't get enough moisture. The soil doesn't get enough moisture. As a result, the crop will dry. The crop become wilt. The crop become wither. So anyhow, children, today the people are using water extensively for agriculture. Why? Because water is important for agriculture. Without water, crops cannot be cultivated. Okay, today the people are using water for domestic purpose and animals. Today the water is used for domestic purpose like cooking, cleaning, washing, bathing, for drinking water, and for animals also. So in this regard, I would like to say planning is very important to increase the water availability so that minimum amount of water should be available for everyone irrespective of income. And today the water is used for industrial use. Today industries are using water extensively for producing a production. In that process, the industry is creating a water shortage for agriculture and domestic purpose. When the industry use water extensively and creating a shortage for agriculture and domestic purpose, problem arises, conflict arises between agriculture sector and industry sector. This was the first problem created by the industries. The second problem created by industry is pollution. Why? Because industries use some chemicals and producing a product. In that process, it creates toxic substances. That toxic substances are disposed in land, air, water. So land gets polluted, air gets polluted, water gets polluted. The people who live in surrounding industrial area, the health are getting spoiled. They are suffering from severe health conditions. So, second problem created by industry was pollution. Because of pollution, people are facing serious health problem. These are two problems created by industries. So, the industry should solve the two problems. The first problem is because of use of water extensively by the industries, it created a water shortage for agriculture domestic purpose. To solve the water, industry should to solve the problem, to solve the shortage of water problem for agriculture domestic purpose by industries should take several steps. To solve the first problem is recycling of water. To solve the first problem, industrialists should take several steps for recycling the water. And the second problem is industries use chemicals in the production process. As a result, it creates pollution. As a result, toxic substances are created. These toxic substances are disposed in air, land, water. So air, land, water gets polluted. The people who live in industrial surrounding areas are suffering from serious health problems. To solve that second problem, industries should take several measures to control the pollution. So, to solve the first problem, industrialists should take several steps in making recycling of water. If industry follow measures in the recycling water so that the water will be sufficient for industrial use, agriculture and domestic purpose, so the first problem will be solved. If industries control the pollution, then if industries take several steps in controlling the pollution, the people who live in surrounding industrial areas, their health condition will be improved. So the industries should take several steps to solve the first two problems. The present industrial use, the challenging areas facing industrial use, the present challenging areas facing industrial use are recycling of water and control of pollution. That means to solve the two problems, the industry should take several measures, like recycling of water and control of pollution. The villages today in India, most of the villages, not most, all the villages in India depend on inflow and stock for water. Inflow means I said precipitation, surface flow, groundwater flow. These three are called inflow. Precipitation means rainfall. Surface flow means the water flows in land like rivers, streams, canals. Groundwater means the water that is inside the ground. Today all the villages in India depends on inflow and stock for water purpose. In our analysis, we should know the difference between inflow and stock clearly. Okay, let me discuss about the stock. Let us discuss about the stock. To know about the stock, let us take an example of tank, that is top of our house. Our tank has inlet pipe and outlet pipe. This inlet pipe carries water from the underground and fills a tank. Inlet pipe carries the water from underground and fills in a tank. This is outlet pipe. Carries the water from the tank to the taps that we use. Outlet pipe carries the water from the tank to the taps that we use. So, inlet pipe. By inlet pipe, the water is filled in the tank. By inlet pipe, the water is filled in the tank. By an outlet pipe, the water we use. By an outlet pipe, we use the water from the tank. We use the water from the tank. Children, now you close inlet pipe and outlet pipe. Okay, now you close inlet pipe and outlet pipe. When you close inlet pipe and outlet pipe, now when you close inlet pipe, the water from the underground does not fill inside the tank. When you close outlet pipe, the water from the tank does not go to the taps that we use. So when we close inlet pipe and outlet pipe, then water will be available. The water does not flow. The water is static. The amount of water that is available in a tank when the inlet pipe is closed and outlet pipe is closed, that is called stock. That is called stock. Suppose you open inlet pipe and outlet pipe, we can measure, we can measure inflow of a tank. We can measure inflow of a tank per liter per minute. Same thing we can measure outflow of a tank in liters per minute. We can measure inflow of a tank liters per minute. We can measure outflow of a tank liters per minute. Now you open inlet pipe and outlet pipe, what happens? By inlet pipe the water fills a tank. By outlet pipe the water comes outside from the tanks to tap and we use. When we use the water pipe from a outlet pipe, when you use the water from outlet pipe, what happens? The stock decreases. The stock decreases. Similarly, come to example now. Okay, villages consist tanks, ponds, lakes, rivers, streams. Okay, these villages, what they do? They extract the water from tanks, ponds, lakes, rivers, streams through pipeline from river area, from the surface flow area to agricultural land. In India, the villages consist tanks, ponds, lakes, rivers, streams. Through pipelines, they extract the water from tanks, ponds, lakes, rivers, streams for the agricultural land. As a result, the water in the surface flow like rivers, streams, canals, tanks, ponds, lakes will decrease. Somewhere here, all the villages in India do not consist tank, pond, lakes, river, stream, canal. All the villages in India do not consist all these things. Some village may have tanks and ponds. Some village may have ponds and lakes. Some village may have lakes and rivers. Some village may have rivers and streams. Some village have streams and canals. Some village have canals and tanks. But all the villages in India do not consist all these things. You know one thing, children, most of the villages in India do not consist all these. So they depend on wells and tube wells for water purpose. Mostly all the villages in India do not consist all this. So they depend water on wells and tube wells. So mostly all the villages in India, they extract the water from wells and tube wells extensively. As a result, groundwater become less. When groundwater become less, how present generation would live? How future generation would live? If groundwater become less, how present generation, future generation would survive? How they live? Water is meant for all. Water is meant for all. Without water, no living things live in this world. Water is important for living things to live. If present generation and future generation want to live, if they want to lead a better quality life, if they want to survive, they need water. Not only present generation, future generation, even other living things. If they want to survive, want to live, they need water. Water is meant for all. But today, the groundwater is becoming less. Today, the villagers are extracting the water from wells and tube wells extensively and making the groundwater become less. If groundwater become less, how present generation, future generation could live? So, immediately we should take steps. What step we should take now? Means we should increase the water availability so that water should be available for present generation people and future generation people. Okay, if villagers, if they extract the water from wells and tube wells as fast as they like, the water in the ground become less. Then, present generation people, future generation people, other living things can't survive. So immediately we should take a bold step to make present generation alive and future generation alive. To make present generation to lead a good quality life and to lead a future generation to lead a good quality life. If you want to make present generation and future generation to lead a good quality life, then they need water. If they need water, then what should we do? We should increase the water availability. How to increase the water availability? Means just when good rainfall occurs, the villagers should collect the rainwater and harvest in surface flow like rivers, stream, canals, ponds, lakes. And the villages should make the groundwater to penetrate inside the ground. And villages should do planning, in such a way the water should be available for everyone. And villages should stop, the people in India should stop using bore wells, should stop using tube wells. They should stop digging bore wells and tube wells. If they follow these measures, water availability increases. If water availability increases, then the water will be available for present generation, future generation. If what is available for present generation, future generation, both the generation people will survive, will live, would lead a better quality life. Some of the child asked me a doubt, sir, in the case of drought region where water is acute shortage, where water is not available, in such area, how people get water, sir? Yes, it's a good question. In drought area, what is acute shortage, what is not available, how people get water. This is the question of one child. For that, in that cases, we can give excuse for the people to dig bore wells. In such drought area, we can give excuse for the people to dig bore wells. But don't think the rainfall does not occur completely in drought area. In some days, good rainfall occurs in drought area. In some days, good rainfall occurs in drought area. When good rainfall occurs in drought area, the drought area people should collect the good rainfall water and harvest in surface flow resources like rivers, streams, canals, ponds, lakes, and makes the rainfall water should penetrate inside the ground. So that water problem will be solved in drought area also. Children, one thing you should remind, groundwater is called mineral water or mining water. The water that is inside the ground in between soil and rocks is called groundwater. To form groundwater, it takes thousands of years. Not 1 year or 2 years. To form groundwater, it takes thousands of years. If you extract the groundwater that is formed thousands of years, then groundwater become less. When groundwater become less, then both present generation people, future generation people couldn't survive, couldn't live. At last, present generation people, future generation people would be extincted in this world. Such a dangerous position we are. Now the burning problem is groundwater becoming less. So immediately, my dear children, immediately we all, not only government, villages people, everyone should take steps to increase the water availability. The water availability of village depends upon precipitation, surface flow and groundwater flow. The water availability for us depends upon precipitation, means rainfall, surface flow resources like river, canals, streams and groundwater. We should not waste the water unnecessarily. We should use our water to keep our needs. We should use water depending upon water availability to keep our needs. We should use water depending upon water availability. What is precious, children? What is life, children? Without water, we cannot live. We means not human being. Every living things in the world, whatever living things created by God, all the living things in the world, want to survive means they need water. So what is meant to for all living things in the world? So we should save water. What is precious? Save water, save life. Children, so far we discussed about the water use topic. I hope you understand this topic. Before seeing this topic, keep the textbook in front of you. Read the topic from the textbook first, then you refer this video so that you would understand very much better. If not, see my videos repeatedly again so that you can understand very much better. Then also if you don't understand, call to my number 89786 73927. Thank you, children. Bye.